si Mr. Antonio Trillanes was already in the Senate, and he was even showing a copy of an alleged ICC warrant of arrest. That would prove that what they were trying to serve on May 11, even if there was no Philippine court issued or Philippine court validated and confirmed warrant of arrest, was the ICC warrant and not the CIDG subpoena. Yun po ang aking answer doon.
Heto na nga ho mga kabdita, press con ho ng PDP laban kung saan itong si Atty. Torion, legal counsel nito si Senator Bato mga kabdita. Talaga naman hong namumutok dito kay Trililing. Mantagin po ninyo, di ba noong May 11 kung hindi ho tayo nagkakamali, nag-issue ho siya ng warrant of arrest dito kay Senator Bato. Diyan, tas nagkagulo-gulo na ho sa loob ng Senado kung saan nagkaputukan lahat na ho ng kabalbalan ng gobyerno mga kabdit, nagsisimula na. Dito ho mga kabdit, rektahan hong sinupalpal nitong si Atty. Torion. Etong si Trililing, bakit ho mga kabdit, wala naman nga hong warrant of arrest sa local court si Senator Bato de la Rosa, bakit ho siya may kaugnayan o meron hong connection si Trililing sa ICC, nakakapagtaka na ho yan. Saan ho nila galing yan? Dito ba yan sa bayaran ng mali-maleta na kung saan itong ang flood control hindi na napag-uusapan? Diyan ba nang galing yung mga pera nila para kausapin yung ICC? Tanong ko lang ho yan. Ano ho sa tingin nyo mga kabdit ang nangyari? Kasi bakit pati etong si Senator Bato, gusto na ho nilang ipatapon sa ICC, ipalitis sa mga dayuhan. Mantagin po ninyo dyan sa loob ng Senado, binabastos-bastos na nga ho siya. Ganyan ho kawalang hiya itong administrasyon. Kaya hindi lang ho ito si Atty. Torion ang namumutok sa inis, pati ho lahat ng mga nandyan sa PDP na talaga naman mga update, makikita nyo ang kanilang gigil. Dahil itong si Trililing, literal na, alam nyo na, bayaran ho ang tingin ho sa kanya ng milyon-milyong Pilipino. Mantagin mo po ninyo, wala naman ho siyang may katungkulan ho ba yan sa gobyerno? Tanong ko lang mga kapatid, wala ho yan. Ano yan, citizen arrest? Di ba? Nakikigulo-gulo ho siya dyan kasi nga ho yung personal na galit niya yan sa mga Duterte. Tsaka oras na maluklok kasi si BP Sara mga kapatid, dumidistansya na ho sila. Bakit to? Yan ho yung pupulbos sa kanila. Yan ho yung uubos diyan sa mga magnanakaw, yung mga gumagamit ng white powder sa loob ng administrasyong ito. Kaya mga kapatid, direkta na ho tayo, pakinggan ho natin itong mga matitinding mensahe ni Atty. Torion. Kaya mga kapatid, wala na tayong paligoy-ligoy pa kung bago lang ho kayo sa ating channel, isang like and share, isang subscribe lamang ho, malaking tulong nga. Kaya kapatid, pasadahan na ho natin ito. Game!
Yes, Atty. Torion, maraming salamat po. Alam niyo, Atty. Torion, sa harap mismo po ng media, tila ipinakita po ni Antonio, or dati po, former Senator Antonio Trillanes, the fourth, ang umano'y ICC warrant of arrest laban po kay Senator Bato de la Rosa. Subalit, sang-ayon naman po kay Secretary John V. Cremulya, ang nasabing warrant of arrest ay isang inactionable document. Kung tama po ang sinabi ng DILG na ang dokumento ay inactionable, bakit parang may aktwal na operasyon na nagaganap sa Senado noong araw na yon? Attorney?
Well, yan nga ang dapat nila i-answer properly, no? Pero I would still believe that it is an act of God, no? It's an act of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Kasi because of that incident at saka yung clear attempt on their part to serve the warrant of arrest, sa amin po, at saka subsequently when this was confirmed by the ICC itself, parang nabunutan ako ng tinik. Why? Because it was really a challenge on our part to prove that there is already a warrant of arrest, so that the Supreme Court now would have the necessary evidence, the necessary proof, if you would like to term it at that the arrest warrant is existing and issued by the ICC. Noon kasi, puro lang kami conjecture. Puro lang kami, you can call it as a conjecture. Puro statements. Ang first na nagpalabas niyan in November of 2025 was Ombudsman Remulla. And we used that in the manifestation that we filed in the Supreme Court then. But then again, I would understand that why the Supreme Court would not act on our TRO yet, because there was no proof indeed that there is an ICC warrant. So, nung pinakita na mismo ni Mr. Antonio Trillanes na meron ngang warrant and kinonfirm ng ng ICC in the evening of May 11, then there is no more doubt as to the existence of the warrant of arrest. And the existence of the warrant of arrest, and in fact, the recognition on the part of the executive department that there is a warrant of arrest should be differentiated from enforcement of warrant of arrest, such that if they justify it on the foreign affairs power on the part of the executive department, or through his presidential powers on the part of the executive department, once it involves deprivation of liberty within Philippine soil, we will follow Ho versus People, Achacoso versus Salazar versus Achacoso rather, that such instances should now pass through our Philippine courts. It has to be the Philippine court warrant of arrest that would bind Senator Bato de la Rosa. Since that was not validated by a Philippine court, since that was not issued by a Philippine court, in the light of the fact that we do not have the surrender procedural mechanism which is required under supposedly Article 88 and 89 of the Rome Statute, even that, would require that all state parties should have their own procedural mechanism insofar as the assistance, the necessary assistance insofar as member states are concerned, wala tayong procedural mechanism. So, bawal na bawal po yung pag-attempt and ongoing effort to arrest Senator Bato de la Rosa. So, we interposed our objection as lawyers. Attorney Jimmy Bondo has likewise argued against the implementation of any ICC warrant of arrest if not issued by a Philippine court judge, if not confirmed or validated by a Philippine judge. Thank you.
Attorney Torion, salamat po. Attorney, hindi ba nakakalito sa publiko na may mga taong tila kumikilos po na ipapatupad na ang warrant, samantalang sinasabi naman ng gobyerno na hindi po ito maaaring i-enforce?
Yan nga po, noon pa sinasabi namin, si Senator Bato gusto lamang na magkaroon ng assurance na dito sa Pilipinas siya lilitisin. Or kung mahirap yan, kailangan meron tayong procedural mechanism as to how to implement surrender. At klaruhin sana ito ng gobyerno kung ano ba talaga. All actions seem to point to the fact na yung nangyari noon kay PRRD ay gagawin na naman nila ngayon. Based on executive discretion, based on the foreign affairs power on the part of the president, maling-mali nga yun. Dahil sa, if it involves deprivation of liberty nga, kailangan dumaan yan sa ating mga korte because we have our own constitution, we have independence, we are independent as a nation, then we should assert our Philippine sovereignty. And besides, it is even mandated by the ICC Rome Statute. If you read Articles 88 and 89 of the Rome Statute, nakasaad po doon that it is our obligation supposedly when we were still members, hindi na nga tayo miyembro ngayon, to provide for procedural mechanisms as to how to implement surrender. Kasi nga po, ang surrender is not a self-executing provision. Just like any law, if they cite Section 17, kailangan yan ng rules of procedure para po ma-implementa yan dito. Kung walang rules of procedure, it is not self-executing.
Thank you, Attorney. At Attorney, kung wala pa palang Interpol Red Notice at wala pang domestic clearance process, bakit nagkaroon po ng impresyon na pwede nang arestuhin si Senator Bato kahit anong oras?
Yan nga po ang problema kasi it would seem, based on the actions, bold actions on the part of Director Matibag, it would seem that the stance of the government is really to imitate the action done against FPRRD. So, dahil dito, they are now emboldened to act. Kasi akala nila legal ito. Hindi po legal ito. Kasi nga po, walang Philippine court-issued warrant of arrest. And that is required under Article 3, Section 2 of the 1987 Constitution that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Kailangan po ng due process. However serious the accusations are against Senator Bato de la Rosa, that should not be, our Bill of Rights should not be sacrificed. What is my basis? All constitutional democracies also follow that. There is customary, this time, there is customary international law that if a foreign warrant of arrest is issued in a court, whether member or non-member, these accused persons by the ICC should be accorded the protection of a competent judicial authority. Hindi lang Article 59. Hindi na natin i-cite yung Article 59. We can cite Article 9 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. We can cite Articles 8 and 9 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We can cite state practice. I already repeated many times the El Masri case na SIM. Yung El Masri na SIM case, he was a Libyan, arrested in Italy, but the Italian courts gave him succor. The Italian courts heard the case, and it was found out that his procedural rights were not respected by the ICC. So therefore, he was freed and he was deported back to Libya. Another example, which I keep on repeating, dalawa lang ginagamit ko, but I can cite 21 other cases, at least that I know of. Yung kay Simon Gagbo case, Ivory Coast. There was likewise an ICC warrant. And what did the Ivory Coast do? It underwent a local judicial process, and it was found out that again his rights were not respected, and Ivory Coast insisted on its sovereignty. And in both cases, I can even cite the son of Gaddafi, that also happened to him. In all of such cases, what did the ICC react when the national courts asserted their own sovereignty? No. It simply asked for an explanation why they did that. And when Italy gave them such an explanation, wala nang nagawa yung ICC kasi nga sa Article 88 ng Rome Statute, kinakailangan na meron tayong procedure. Duty yan supposedly ng member state. How much more tayo? Hindi na nga tayo miyembro. Kung hindi na tayo miyembro ng ICC, hindi na yun applicable yung Part 9 ng Rome Statute on Cooperation Mechanism. Limited na po, and that came out in Pangilinan versus Cayetano interpellation of Senator Leonen. Anong nangyari doon? Ang nangyari doon, wala nga tayong procedural rules in so far as surrender is concerned. Yun po.
Thank you very much, Attorney Trayon. Ang linaw, nakakapanlumo kasi tayong lahat po kasama dito na parang nililito tayo, naloloko rin tayo. Pero dahil meron tayong mga kasangga na talaga nagpapaliwanag at naglalatag ng tamang usapin at pagpapaliwanag, kaya naging matibay po ang paninindigan ng mga Pilipinong magpahanggang ngayon ay hindi natitibag sa paninindigan at pakikibaka para sa katotohanan. At ngayon naman po, Attorney Trayon, maraming salamat. Mamaya babalikan namin kayo. Ang ating susunod na katanungan ay ibibigay naman po natin para sa atin pong kasamang Attorney Jimmy Bondoc. Good morning, Attorney Jimmy.
Morning po. Magandang umaga po.
Attorney Jimmy, sa pananaw mo po bilang isa sa mga abogado po. May danger ba na nalilito ang publiko sa pagkakaiba ng isang dokumentong umiiral sa international level at isang warrant na maaari nang ipatupad dito po sa Pilipinas? Attorney?
Litong-lito na po. Litong-lito na po ang publiko. Hindi lang po dahil sa complexity naman talaga ng legal issue, kundi dahil sa mga magkakaiba at magkakakontrang pananaw ng gobyerno itself, no? Meron po akong show sa ibang channel na mismo po si GM Torre na hindi naman po sa panig natin ay inamin na there is a breakdown in the unity of command, no? Ibig sabihin, iba-iba na po yung, pati on the opinion level, iba-iba na po yung pronouncements ng gobyerno. Tatlo po kasi yung legal na landas na pinopropose ng kabila, no? Una, yung pag-aresto kay Bato ay binabatay ng iba sa RA 9851, a domestic law. Yan po ang una. Pangalawa, ini-invoke nila yung Rome Statute. Okay? At pangatlo, they are invoking general public international law. Tatlo po yon na pinag-i nila. Wala pong sinunod ang gobyerno. Kung doon tayo sa RA 9851, pag-uusapan po natin kung pwede nating isurrender sa ICC without passing through the judicial authority dito. Kung pag-uusapan natin ng Rome Statute, which by the way para sa amin ay wala ng jurisdiction, hindi nila sinunod ang Article 59 at hindi nila sinunod ang regulations of the court ng ICC, particularly Regulation 31 number 3, which shows how to effectively serve a warrant, no, na personal notice. At kung general na international law or customary law, hindi rin nila sinunod yung jurisprudence na sinite ng aking partner na si Attorney Boben. So, kahit saan pong larangan nila dalhin ang kanilang argumento, hanggang ngayon nananatili po ang aming paninindigan that there is no lawful basis for the arrest of General Bato.
Thank you, Attorney Jimmy. Attorney Jimmy, may mga nagsasabi na itong mga pangyayaring ito, noong nakaraang May 11, parang trial by publicity ang nangyari. Lalo na po nung maipakita umano ang dokumento sa media, bago pa man magkaroon ng malinaw na government position. Nakikita niyo rin po ba yung anggulong to?
Very clearly po, nasa kapangyarihan po kasi ng PTC, ng pre-trial chamber. Yung una, yung to reclassify their warrant from public to from secret to public. At nasa kanila rin yung to authorize reference thereto. Huwag na natin pag-usapan yung pangalawa. Nung pinakita po ni Trillanes yung warrant na yan, it was still secret. No? Therefore, wala siyang any authority to refer to this document, to show it publicly, to brandish it, and much less to enforce it. Wala po, kahitan po. Hindi na natin pinag-uusapan kung siya ay isang delegate ng ICC, was he authorized. Hindi pa yun eh. The mere showing of the warrant by anybody had not been authorized under any applicable laws or procedures. No? So kaya po tayo nagkakalito-lito. And then, assuming arguendo that the warrant had been reclassified at pwede nang iserve o pwede nang ipakita rather, hindi pa rin siya pwedeng iserve dahil napakahaba po. Aantukin po kayo kung sasabihin ko sa inyo yung buong procedure na dadaanan ng ICC warrant bago pa man lang siya iserve sa amin at kay General Bato.
Thank you, Attorney. Attorney Bondoc, hindi ba delikado kung ang isang pribadong individual ay tila mas nauunang makaalam o makahawak ng sensitibong dokumento kaysa mismong mga opisyal na dapat magpatupad po nito?
Very dangerous precedent setting po yan kung sakasakaling mangyari yan. As I said in different interviews, I always invite the public to imagine the scenario that they are proposing. Imagine niyo po, kahit po sa hinaharap na makagawa na tayo ng sistema na ang warrant ng ICC or any foreign tribunal or court ay pwede nang panghawakan ng kahit sinong individual at sasabihin nila hindi na po kailangan yan dumaan sa piskalya dito, hindi na kailangan dumaan yan sa korte dito dahil foreign ito. And therefore, since they had been authorized by the President, the Office of the President, or any of the departments under the executive branch, dahil na-authorize na sila, pwede nang i-enforce yan. Can you imagine the absurdity? Na kung local charge at local warrant, rigorous yung dadaan siya sa korte at ang dami pong tumbling ika nga ang kailangan gawin. Pero pag foreign warrant, pwede na po at the pleasure of the president ay ipahuli ang kahit sino. Can you imagine the political turmoil? That will be worse than martial law.
Oo nga. Takot. Attorney Bondo, kung totoong kailangan pa ng Interpol Red Notice at compliance sa local processes bago magkaroon ng enforcement, attorney, may nilabag bang protocol ang sino mang kumilos na parang may immediate arrest operation ng mangyayari?
At the very least, that was an attempt at arbitrary detention, attempt at an unlawful arrest, 'di ba? At I can imagine many other laws broken by the said individual, no? So, pero ang mas nilalabag po talaga nila ay hindi lamang batas kundi yung kasarinlan po ng Pilipinas. And that is the worst. I know that sounds like a motherhood statement, pero yun po ang pinakamasama na nilalabag nila, yung ating karapatan to enforce our own laws and to prevent colonial powers from imposing upon us laws that we do not recognize and giving foreign tribunals power to dictate upon our justice system. What they're actually trying to do, no, is they're trying to tell the Supreme Court, no, dito po sa comment po ng OSG, what they're trying to say to the Supreme Court is, mga boss, desisyonan nyo naman tong comment namin na hindi na kayo kailangan. Yun po ang hinihingi nila eh. No? They are asking the Supreme Court to decide against themselves and the country. And I really think this is dangerous. And I hope that all the authorities recognize this.
Lakas ng loob mo na. Ang lakas ng loob na gawin na yun, ha? Talaga nakaka-shock.
Hindi na po kami nasasyak. Para lang po for the record.
Hindi, kasi,
They've tried everything eh.
attorney, parang ang thinking namin dito bilang isang simpleng mamamayang Pilipino na lumalaban ng patas sa araw-araw, parang saan sila kumukuha ng lakas ng loob to manipulate at saka konsintihin ang iba't ibang mga autoridad to
Malinaw po.
abuse.
Malinaw po kung saan sila kumukuha ng lakas ng loob, and it is out of fear. It is out of fear of the scenario 2 years from now.
Yeah. Malinaw. Attorney, isa na lang po. Balikan kayo mamaya ni Attorney Yvette. Ano po ang masasabi ninyo? Ito, kailangan pong marinig ng lahat ng mga kababayan natin dahil yun po yung isang katanungan nila noong pa eh. That was last week. Ngayon natin tatanungin sa inyo, baka masagot nyo bilang kinatawan at saka tagapamagitan at kayo po yung abogado ni Senator De La Rosa. Sa nangyari po last week, ano po ang masasabi ninyo sa naging desisyon ni former Senator Soto sa pakikipag-ugnayan niya, di umano, sa NBI, sa OSA, Office of the Sergeant of Arms, sa pagpapatupad ng sinasabing warrant of arrest?
Pagdating po dyan, the reason why I want to limit my comments is obviously there's a very huge political struggle now within the Senate. At gusto kong bigyan ng konting halaga yung pagpapaliwanag ni former SP Soto na dahil wala naman siyang kaalam-alam na dadating si Bato, parang ang sinabi niya lang ay, sige, coordinate nyo lang sa OSA. bigyan ko po natin ng kahit mga 50% na natiwala muna, no? But on the other hand, the other 50 should be reserved for our vigilance, no? That vigilance is to prevent further cooperation by any of the senators with law enforcers who have no right to arrest General Bato. And that said, also, we are very happy for now that the Senate presidency has changed because we stand with Alan Cayetano. I think that has to be said. We cannot leave him out to hang to dry, no? Kasi si SP Cayetano is not being partisan. I want that clear. I think he is preserving the integrity and the sanctity of the Senate. I don't think it's for Bato. I don't think they've seen eye to eye on all stages of our recent political history, no? Pero ang para sa kanya talaga, bahay namin to, we are one of the 3 branches, at wala kayong pinapakita pang lawful basis para arestuhin ito. So ba't kami magko-coordinate sa inyo? Kayo mag-coordinate sa amin pag meron kayong i-enforce out of respect. At kami, susuriin namin kung pwede nang arestuhin si Bato. Sinabi rin po ni Senator Cayetano, pasensya na humaba ng konti, ano? Sinabi ni Senator Cayetano, iba naman yan kung local warrant yan. Kung local warrant yan, we would have treated it like they did with Enrile, De Lima, Trillanes. Pero hindi nga local yung warrant. So I think we should support Alan Cayetano in unison kung ano man ang kulay ninyo because he's preserving the integrity of the Senate.
Thank you, Attorney. Yung reservation that hindi niya pwedeng sabihin lahat sa atin, we need to respect kasi it's for us, Filipino, na ma-intact din naman po yung mga dapat hindi mo na ibuga. And now, ibalik ko naman po yung tanong ulit kay Attorney Torion. Medyo nabitin po ang ating mga kababayan. May mga pumapasok din pong mga comment at mga question. No, Attorney Torion, kung supina lang talaga yon, bakit hindi agad malinaw ang paliwanag ng gobyerno mula sa simula?
Yes, kung yun pala ang purpose, di sinabi ka agad nila. Pero yun nga, I doubt kung sabina nga ba yun. Kasi babalik na naman ako doon sa aking answer. Kung sabina yun ng CIDG, why would NBI serve it in the morning of May 11 of 2026? No? So, palusot na lang yun sa tingin ko. No? So, that is, in my humble view, parang naghahanap na lang siguro ng paraan para at least ma-justify. Kung sa amin yan sa mga Bisaya, palusot na lang to. No? That's my opinion on the matter. Kasi nakakatawa na merong, merong sabina ang CIDG. Ngayon ba ang NBI adjunct office na ng CIDG? The way I see it, iba sila na agency. And CIDG has its own personnel and NBI also has its own personnel. And it would be the height of hypocrisy, no? To the point of being untruthful na siguro na i-claim na CIDG sabina ngayon. And by the way, yung CIDG sabina, ni-recall nila ha. And actually, we can use that also. We can use that by arguing likewise that the Philippines now is exercising jurisdiction over the AJK cases. So, that can be one of the reasons that can be used by our lawyers if we will hire na a lawyer in the ICC to oust the jurisdiction of the ICC or to question the processes being made by the by Philippine authorities. Kasi nga in the morning of May 11 of 2026, there was yet no confirmation on the part of the ICC. There was yet no unsealing of the ICC warrant of arrest. And procedurally, even if hindi na tayo miyembro, hindi na tayo bound under Part 9 of the Rome Statute. Pero granting for the sake of argument, hindi nila na-follow at that time yung procedural mechanisms before one can implement a warrant of arrest by the ICC. So to claim na sabina yun, to my mind, and with utmost due respect, is baloney.
Thank you, Attorney. Attorney, alam ninyo, bago magdeklara po na ang ICC na naka-unseal na po yung warrant of arrest ni Senator Bato de la Rosa, nagkaroon po ba ng pagkakataon na naniniwala rin kayo na may arrest operation talaga?
Yung May 11 incident, klaro talaga yun kasi may mga binugbog pa nga yung tao ng ng Senado eh. Sila ang pumasok doon, hindi nakipag-coordinate, tapos binugbog pa nila yung Senate employee. And at that time, the warrant of arrest by the ICC was not yet unsealed and they did not follow the strict procedure under Articles 89, 91, 59 of the Rome Statute. That is granting for the sake of argument that we are still a member of the Rome Statute. Eh, hindi na nga tayo miyembro eh. Kaya nga ang aming sinasabi dito, mali talaga yung ginawa ng ating mga taga-NBI.
Ma'am Penny, if I may,
Yes,
no?
please do.
Bago pa nung bugbugan na totoo po na sinight ni Atty. Torion, bakit naman po tayo magdududa pa na may attempt to arrest? Pagbaba nga po ng kotse ni Bato, sinubukan nga siyang i-arrest, hinabol siya sa hagdan. So I do not know why a narrative like that would prosper na hindi nila ina-attempt mag-arrest. Sinubukan na nga at in-announce pa nila, no? Pagbaba pa lang ng kotse. Kahit hindi na natin pag-usapan yung bugbugan, which is again a clear indication of their intent to arrest. Sinabi nila na arestuhin nila si Bato. Wala na pong bawian.
Tapos ito ma'am i-review natin yung kasi hindi na tayo parte ng Rome Statute at klaro yan sa Pangilinan versus Cayetano na wala pang surrender mechanism tayo dito, no? And even in the the crafting of Republic Act 9851 noong February 20, 2009, kunin nyo yung transcript of stenographic notes, yung minutes ng deliberations between Senator Ligarda and Senator Gordon. Ang sabi ni Senator Gordon noon, in order to implement the surrender mechanism under Section 17, no? Section 17 of Republic Act 9851 is not enough. There has to be a statute that would precisely define the procedural mechanism as to how to effectuate surrender. So even the intention of the senators when they crafted the 9851, no, would really prove na in the deliberations it really came out, no? Deliberation mahaba yun eh. During the time when Senator Ligarda was throwing questions at Senator Gordon, lumabas po dun na it's not enough. RA 9851 is not enough. And even if we base Article 59, hindi na tayo miyembro niyan. Kalukuhan niyang sinasabi, kagaguhan niyang sinasabi na you could not anymore invoke Article 59. Ano ba yan, cherry picking? You are implementing the warrant of arrest under Article 58. We do not recognize that anymore because we believe that ICC has no more jurisdiction. But granting for the sake of argument that it has jurisdiction, we can also invoke Article 59. Anong nakasabi dyan sa paragraph 1? Oh? A state party which has received a request for provisional arrest or for arrest and surrender shall immediately take steps to arrest the person in question in accordance with its laws. In accordance with whose laws? Philippines. Anong sa Philippines ito? In accordance with its laws and the provisions of Part 9. It has to be reconciled. Ang ibig sabihin niya, anong nakasaad sa atin? Article 3, Section 2 and the Bill of Rights. Only a Filipino judge can issue a warrant of arrest. Since you do not have a surrender procedural mechanism, then we argue, wala yan. Kaya nga, pwede ba? Sabi namin, i-apply na lang natin by analogy yung extradition rules. Kasi meron tayong extradition rules. Dalawa lang yan eh. Surrender or extradition. Yung surrender, walang procedural mechanism. Nandun yan sa minutes of the interpellation of Senator Ligarda with Senator Gordon when RA 9851. So, since wala tayong law as to how to implement surrender, sabi namin, why don't we apply by analogy yung extradition? Ayaw din ng Solicitor General. Di, huwag mo i-implement yan dito. If you want to implement that, then you follow our procedure. Because our procedure is stated in the rules of criminal procedure. Huwag nyo kaming sisihin. Bakit mataas yan na procedure? Hindi kayo nagpasa ng batas eh. to implement that eh. As lawyers, ako at saka si Attorney Jimmy Bondoc, we have to, what you call this, argue because that is the proper thing to do. Just because you are charging Senator Bato with a grave crime, you cannot treat him as guilty right away and to shortcut the proceedings. You could not do that because when it involves deprivation of liberty in the Philippine jurisdiction, in accordance with our laws, according to Article 59, Section 1, it has to pass through a Philippine judge. So yun ang aming argumento dyan. Hindi po pwede na itrata siya parang manok at dadalhin mo doon sa Netherlands na hindi mo idaan sa korte. Kalukuhan yan, kagaguhan yan.
Galing. Alam niyo nung last week, mga kababayan at mga nandirito tumututong sa ating kapihan sa PDP Live Podcast, litong-lito na ang mga Pilipino. May mga mangilan-ngilan, nagpagamit pa, nananawagan, sumisigaw, na hindi nila alam kung ano yung panawagan at sinisigaw nila. Kaya lalong dumagdag sa kalituhan ng ating mga kababayan. Ngayon naman po, ayokong ma-preempt or mapuwersa sumagot kasi alam mo sa totoo lang, masyadong direct to the point pag sumagot po ang ating mga guest that knowing them talaga without reservation all the time. But now, dahil isasalang ito sa husgado with reservation all the time. Kasi mahirap na. Kasi maraming nag-aabogado dyan, hindi naman abogado. Pagkatapos may abogado nga, lumagpas sa pagka-abogado, naging nanghuli na, naging pulis, di mo malaman kung sundalo. Kaya talagang nakakasindak talaga yung lakas ng loob nila. Masyadong pang-abuso ng autoridad talaga na hindi natin dapat payagan. Bilang Pilipino, yung mga nananahimik magpahanggang ngayon, kahit kitang-kita na ginagalos-galusan na, tayong mga nanonood lang sa kanila, well, this time, wag naman tayong manood lamang, makiisa, tapos tingnan natin. At wag nating baguhin ang ating paninindigan, na manindigan lamang tayo sa tama, hindi natin kailangan makipagkampihan. Dahil sa PDP Laban, talagang pinagbabawalan namin ang salitang kakampi. Hindi kakamping, kakampi. Kasi po, kaya namin po yun talaga pinagbabawalan dito, wala pong politika dito. Kaya ayaw namin ng kakampi dahil ang kakampi po kasama sa pang-aapi. So we don't need kakampi sa PDP. Lagi kaming kaibigan. Kaasama, kaibigan, kasama, kaibigan. Bakit kaibigan? May kasamang pag-ibig at pagmamahal sa ating mga kababayan at sigurado ang paninindigan ay laging para sa kapakanan ng mas nakararaming Pilipino na uhaw pa rin magpahanggang ngayon sa katotohanan at kabutihang inaabangan nila. Ngayon, Attorney Torion, mamaya mas maiinit po yung mga tanong at sunod-sunod po nating ilalatag sa ating mga kababayan. Sa inyo pong legal assessment, alam ko po isasagot dito pero gusto ng taong bayan na marinig at lumabas mula po sa inyo mga bibig. At kayo mismo yung nakakakilala sa tunay at tamang batas para sa tao. May nilabag po bang protocol sa paraan ng pag-handle po ng sitwasyon at mga pangyayari nitong nakaraang Mayo 11? Attorney?
Well, yung ating konstitusyon mismo ay nilabag nila, no? And they even also violated even their own Rome Statute because sa aming palagay, maski yung Rome Statute hindi nila nasunod, no? Kasi nga po obligation natin na magkaroon ng cooperation legal mechanism. Yung pagpasa nga natin nung RA 9851, the intention really was to strengthen our local criminal laws. So if the intention was really to strengthen our own local criminal laws, it cannot be used as a ticket, as an excuse to shortcut the proceedings. So sa aming palagay po, nag-violate talaga sa human rights ni Senator Ronald De La Rosa. It violates the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. It violates the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And it likewise violates our criminal laws. Kasi sa aming palagay, yung pagpupursige nila sa pag-aresto, no? As we will be explaining later on, hindi ko ma-explain masyado kasi bordering on na tayo, sub judice, no? But suffice it to state that it may qualify even as kidnapping, no? Attempted kidnapping. Kasi nga po, hindi sumusunod po sa procedure natin dito sa Pilipinas. Yun po ang aking palagay.
Attorney, maraming salamat. At ngayon naman po, ipapasa po natin ang mikropono sa ating pong chairperson ng Legal Committee, ang ating pong napakabait at napakatalinong Attorney Yvette Contacto para po sa segment na talagang inaantay rin po ninyo. Attorney Yvette?
Maraming salamat ka, Penny. At mainit din sa usapan, first time maaaring nadinig ng taong bayan ang mga katagang protective custody. Dito sa susunod ko pong katanungan, any of our guests, Attorney Torion, Attorney Jimmy, Attorney Ferdy, may answer this question. Nung nangyari ng May 11, nabalita ho na nasa protective custody si Senator Bato de la Rosa. Maaari niyo po bang paliwanag yung konsepto ng protective custody sa Senate premises at sino po ang nagdesisyon na magbigay ng protective custody kay Senator Bato de la Rosa?
I would defer to my very good friend, Attorney Topacio.
Thank you, Bobet. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Yvette, mga kamanyeros, ipanyeras. Okay, before I answer that, if you would bear with me, and I promise you, this is the first and only time that I will speak dahil mas alam nitong dalawang ito ng mga panyero ko ng pangyayari sa loob. Bibigyan ko lang ng premise yung kung bakit binigyan ng protective custody. And at the same time, yung mga gustong magpaliwanag ay malaman nyo kung bakit nakita nyo naman nagpupuputok ang butse nitong mga abogado natin sa paglabag ng mga karapatan. At ito po, hindi po opinion ang ibibigay ko. I leave that up to the others. And I challenge everyone, including biased media, to fact-check me every step of the way sa sasabihin ko. Okay.
Fact yun, brother, no? F-A-C-T.
Fact yun. Fact yun.
Kinlaro ko lang.
I-fact check nyo ako ha, kung hindi tama ang sinasabi ko. Para lang makita natin yung konteksto kung bakit sinasabi nila yung mga sinasabi nila, no? Okay, let's go back. Let's start from the very beginning. A very good place to start. Sabi nga sa Sound of Music, May ICC warrant. Okay, warrant. Granted, walang argumento dyan. Ang issue, may that be implemented in the Philippines. Bakit pumalag ang bagong liderato ng Senado? Okay. Laging sinasabi ng mga tao, may warrant dapat i-implement. Sabi nga ni Attorney Bobet, okay, granted na ang Rome Statute ay valid pa, assuming without conceding, hindi ko sinasabing totoo, granting lang for the sake of argument, para may pag-usapan lang tayo. Anong status ng isang tratado? Hindi po tarantado sila yon. O tratado or treaty sa legal system ng Pilipinas. Nakalagay po sa ating saligang batas at sa civil code, mga treaties na ratifikado ng ating Senado form part of the law of the land. Tama po yan. Doctrine of incorporation, doctrine of transformation. Ngunit anong level ng isang treaty? Ang treaty po na ratified, although part of the law of the land, ang kapantay po niyan ay Act of Congress. Batas po yan, statute. Hindi yan pwedeng manaig sa konstitusyon. Therefore, in implementing a treaty, probisyon ng konstitusyon natin ang masusunod. Anong sabi ng konstitusyon sa Article 3? Nabanggit na nila, banggitin ko lang ulit. Section 1, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process. Section 2, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects shall be inviolable, and no search warrant or warrant of arrest shall be issued except upon probable cause to be personally determined by a judge upon examination of witnesses, etc., etc. Hindi po aksidente na ang Article 3, the Bill of Rights, ay inuna yung Section 1, due process at yung security, inviolability ng security, walang search warrant. Because these are the first and second most important rights. Okay. Anong nakalagay po sa Section 2? Except upon probable cause issued by a court of competent jurisdiction. Anong court? Ditong court, syempre. Sapagkat walang karapatan ang ating konstitusyon na mag-grant ng authority sa ibang court other than our courts because it is a domestic document, a municipal document. Yan po ang very clear. Okay. Ano yung due process na sinasabi sa Section 1? What is due process? Due process is a law that hears before it condemns. Is there such a law? Dito po sa ating bansa. Meron. Presidential Decree 1069 or the extradition law. What is Presidential Decree 1069? It was issued in 1977 by Marcos Sr. under Amendment 6 of the 73 Constitution. Ano yung Amendment 6? Although may batasang pambansa under the 73 Constitution, Amendment 6 allows the President to promulgate laws na parang statute by presidential decree. So batas po yun. So meron po tayong extradition law. Anong nakalagay sa extradition law? Before a foreign warrant may be executed in the Philippines, not just yung ICC, any foreign warrant, may proseso. Ano pong proseso? Sabi nga ni Attorney Bobet, maraming tumbling. Ito ang dapat sundin. Number 1, yung DFA ay susulatan ng proper agency in a foreign jurisdiction. Pakikita yung warrant, the DFA will determine if that warrant is covered by an extradition treaty or any other treaty and the offense is extraditable. Pagkatapos nadalhin sa DOJ, the DOJ will direct the special counsel to file an extradition petition before the regional trial court where the DOJ is located, RTC Manila. Lilitisin po yan, didinggin yung subject ng extradition at appealable pa sa Court of Appeals. Is there a procedure now? 2025 po, May, most probably in reaction to the kidnapping of former President Rodrigo Duterte, nag-promulgate ang Supreme Court ng rules on extradition. Basically, sinusunod yung PD 1069. Bakit? Because procedural law hindi pwedeng manaig sa substantive law. Substantive law, yung 1069, procedural law, yung 2025. Okay. Anong nakalagay po roon sa extradition law? Nilagyan lang po ng time limit. 30 days sa RTC, 90 days kung i-appeal sa CA. Kapag binigyan ng RTC ng extradition ng gobyerno, hindi pa ipatutupad, aakyat pa sa CA. Pag nanalo lamang ang gobyerno sa CA, saka pwedeng i-extradite. That is the procedure because of due process. And any warrant should come from Philippine courts. Tama si Attorney Bobet. Kasi nga, may sovereignty tayo. Okay. Yung 9851, anong nakalagay? Nakalagay doon. Yung warrant ng foreign court may be implemented here subject to applicable extradition laws and treaties. Tingnan nyo kung hindi tama lahat ng sinasabi ko. Yun po ang sinasabi ng kampo ni Senator Bato in very simple terms. Kaya pag sinasabi nilang 9851, meron, hindi pa rin pwede. Kasi subject to applicable extradition laws. May extradition laws tayo. Pag sinasabi nilang may treaty, a treaty cannot go against the Constitution. Kung yung pinagagawa sa atin ng treaty, labag sa Constitution, hindi rin pwedeng ipatupad. In closing, isipin nyo na lamang to mga kasama. Kung yung foreign divorce nga, divorce lang yun, hindi pwedeng ipatupad dito sa Pilipinas hanggang hindi nagkakaroon ng judicial confirmation. Judicial recognition of foreign divorce. Hindi naman nakaka-deprive ng liberty yung divorce. Nakakabigay pa nga ng liberty, di ba? Hindi pwedeng ipatupad dito sa Pilipinas, divorce lang. Arrest warrant pa kaya? That is the basis of protective custody. Ang Senado bilang institusyon has the right to protect its members against illegal laws. Not because only that they are members of the Senate, hindi dahil mataas ang katungkulan nila, but more fundamentally, because they are citizens. At eto napaka-hipokrito talaga itong mga ito Noong panahon ni Enrile, nakipag-coordinate. I was personally there, I'll have you know. Nasa NBI po ako noon with Mayor Lim. Maayos yung naging aresto kay Enrile sa loob. Ang Senado nandun pa sa yung National Museum ngayon. Noong panahon ni De Lima, nandun din ako. Kasi kami po yung nag-file ng kaso against De Lima. Humingi si De Lima ng 2 araw sa loob ng Senado to tie up loose ends. Ewan ko kung anong loose ends yung itatie up ni Laila nung panahon yun. Hindi ko alam ha. I don't want to speculate. Pero pinagbigyan po, walang pumasok at nagpumilit na, uy, may warrant kami. Local warrant pa yun ha. Yung kay Enrile, local warrant. Yung kay De Lima, local warrant ha. Noong 2018, si Trillanes, 3 linggo, nasa loob ng Senado. Ginawa na niyang Victoria Court yun. Ha? Nag-bed and board na siya roon. Kasi that was the time when President Duterte revoked the amnesty. Therefore, he was charged with rebellion. Local warrant na yun. Bailable pa, ha? Bailable. In fact, nag-bail si Trillanes, ha? After that. Pero, nataranta pa rin siya, nagtago pa rin siya sa Senado. Hindi rin nagpumilit. Sinasabi nila, berdugo si Duterte, ba't hindi siya nagpumilit na pumasok sa Senado para hilahin ulit si Trillanes sa sinturera, katulad ng ginawa nung Oakwood Mutiny. So yun po ang basis ng protective custody. Hindi pwede na ang Senado as an institution na pabayaan ang miyembro nito ay maging subject sa mga illegal na mga gawain dahil ang magiging impression sa taong bayan, kung miyembro mo hindi mo maprotektahan, paano mo poprotektahan ang pangkaraniwang tao, di ba? Yun po ang basis ng protective custody. Meron pong kailangang i-preserve the prestige, integrity, and sanctity of the Senate as a co-equal branch of government against intrusions by an executive that is grossly abusing its powers. Salamat po.
Very good, well said. Yung katanungan po na meron po ba kayong idea sino po ang nagdesisyon na ilagay under protective custody si Senator De La Rosa?
Hindi naman po dinideny ni SP Alan Cayetano that they decided that, and also publicly he announced that he wasn't doing it just because Bato is a senator. Nilinaw niya po yun. Sabi niya, pati po kayo po, members of media, kapag may sumubok sa inyo mag-arrest tapos walang warrant or may spurious na warrant, hindi namin kayo ibibigay.
And ito, Attorney Jimmy, natanong na to sa iyo sa isang interview mo sa isang programa pero hindi ka binabigyan ng sapat na panahon para ipaliwanag ito. Tama po bang intindi ko po na ang stand niyo ay hindi niyo kinikilala yung warrant of arrest ng ICC? Tama po ba? Insofar as
Kinikilala namin that it exists.
it exists.
Okay? Kinikilala namin dahil sa mata nila yon ay valid yon. Pero hindi namin kinikilala na enforceable siya.
Alright.
Okay? It has to go through the proper process as very competently explained by Attorney Bobet.
And if this is not enforceable, para lang maliwanag sa ating mga kababayan, bakit nangangailangan pa rin ng protective custody kung hindi naman pala siya enforceable, no?
Because they were enforcing it. Ganun lang kasimple. Hindi siya
And
enforceable,
what would happen kapag na-enforce nga yun na hindi naman pala siya enforceable?
maduduterte siya. Hindi po ba ganun kasimple yan? Hindi ko alam kung ba't pinahahaba natin ang usapan. Sabi nila, bakit naman namin gagawin yun? Ginawa nyo na eh. Di ba? So, pag he will languish in a foreign cell beyond the reach of our laws, and should the Supreme Court decide in our favor, we will still have no legal recourse to bring him back. So, ano po ba yung komplikado sa sinasabi namin? Ayaw lang po namin maulit yung ginawa kay Duterte kasi hindi pa nga settled yung issue ng kay Pangulong Duterte. Pinababalik pa nga natin siya. Dadalawahin pa ba natin?
So, Attorney Jimmy, hindi ito pagtatago.
Pagtataguyod po yan.
Pagtataguyod. Hindi pagtatago. Okay. Thank you. And for our next segment, Penny.
If I may add lang, Kapenny.
Yes, sure, attorney.
I-search nyo nga sa Google yung resolution number 44. Makikita ninyo.
Senate
Ang nagperma si Vicente C. Soto III, President of the Senate. No? Ang nakasabi nga dito, although may nag-object daw dito may nag-object dito, I think si Senator Pangilinan, no? Pero ang nakasaad dito, marami kasing whereas clauses ito. Let's just focus on the last three whereas. Whereas these Filipinos who have not been formally charged, much less convicted of any criminal offense under domestic and international law, have every right to expect that their country shall ensure their protection within the bounds of law and ensure that they are afforded due process. Whereas one person denied due process is one too many. Thus, the state and all its institutions must ensure that all persons sought to be extradited from or surrendered by the Philippines will be guaranteed reasonable time and opportunity to seek redress from the courts and avail of any legal remedies available to them. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the Philippines to express its sense to protect all Filipinos against extrajudicial rendition and guarantee them a reasonable time prior to their surrender by or extradition from the Philippines to seek redress from the courts and avail of legal remedies. Adopted. Signed, Vicente C. Soto III, President of the Senate. Nandito yan, no? So, that is the spirit by which the protective custody was accorded to Senator Ronald De La Rosa.
Thank you very much, Attorney Torion. Alam mo, naging malinaw ngayon yung usaping protective custody sa Senado. Sa ating mga Pilipino, talagang kailangan nating magkaisa at malaman yung mga nangyayari at kaganapan. Kaya ngayon naman, dito tayo sa segment 3, mga kababayan. Gusto lang nating malaman yung mga nangyari ba noong nakaraang linggo or Mayo 11. Ano po ba dahilan nito? Takot ba o nag-iingat lang? Gusto kong tanungin ang ating mga panauhin. Diretsahang tanong to Sa tingin po ninyo, natatakot po ba si Senator Bato? Attorney Jimmy?
Hindi naman po matatakotin si Senator Bato, but he is human. He has even expressed emotions on TV. He has, kumbaga, wore his heart on his sleeve. Pero yung takot niya doesn't seem to be merely personal. Parang natatakot po siya na parang ganito na lang po ba talaga tayo? Will we allow the breakdown of our laws and the breakdown of our constitution? In one of our private agreements napag-usapan namin very briefly, no, na ang batayan nga ng buong 1987 Constitution was a reaction to martial law. That is mentioned by many erudite professors, no? It was a reaction para hindi maulit yung evils na pinakita ng martial law at ng Marcos dictatorship. So, ang takot niya, if we can call it fear, is yung breakdown ng constitution, but also yung gagawin nito sa kanyang pamilya.
Thank you, Attorney Jimmy. How about Attorney Torion, please?
Well, ang sa akin dito, no, I don't know, no? Kasi ano nga ba yung tanong clearly?
Gusto lang natin na
Natakot ba siya?
natatakot ba siya?
Actually, ang nangyari
Senator.
dun, ma'am, before mga 1:30 kasi nag-selfie pa kami doon sa sa crime scene, yung sa putukan. Oh. And then crime scene 'yon kasi may nag-attempt na pumasok although dinideny nila 'yan, no? Alam naman natin na morning pa lang gusto nilang dakpin tapos pagkagabi alam natin na nandun sila sa Senate within the compound pa rin although according to them GSIS. Feeling kasi ni Senator De La Rosa, sa tingin ko lang speculative ito, cause na siya ng threat to the security of his fellow senators, the staff, and even members of the media. So, hindi po siya tikot. It is only that he wanted to insist that our constitution should be respected. Yung mga argumento po na hindi naman siya dinideny ng due process. No? Kasi yung ICC nagbigay sa kanya ng due process. Alam mo, maling-mali po yan. Bakit maling-mali po yan? Because if you will analyze and study the rules of procedure of the ICC, yung akin to preliminary investigation nila, secret eh. Secret yung process. Ang issuance nga ng warrant of arrest, secret. So how can you claim that Senator Bato de la Rosa was accorded due process by the ICC? You know, yung procedure ng ICC, diferensya sa atin, inquisitorial method yun eh. Inquisitorial in the sense that it is really shrouded in secrecy because we can understand that because this involves crimes against humanity. But when you juxtapose that with our Philippine Constitution, kasi in accordance with our national laws nga under Article 59, Section 1, magkaiba. So sa paningin ni Senator De La Rosa, since ang proseso sa kanyang pag-aresto, pag-enforcement ng warrant is in accordance with our Philippine laws, then he should be accorded due process for the first time. Hindi po ito for the second time. Hindi po pwede na dakpin siya at sa presento ka na lang magpaliwanag. Under Philippine jurisdiction, if you are facing a case under ordinary procedure, hindi inquest proceedings, ha? Under ordinary procedure, you are given the chance to respond. So yun ang ating ang sa mind ni Senator De La Rosa, nakaka-hassle na siya sa kanyang fellow senators, yung security nila is under threat na, sa mga members of the media under threat na, no? At madadamay pa sila, kaya hindi siya nagtatago. He is just asserting his right that he should be treated as a Filipino kasi nakakalungkot na kung dito sa Pilipinas may kaso ka, dadaan ka sa due process requirement, kung international warrant of arrest hindi na magdaan ng due process requirement, dito ko sasabihin, yung Article 3 of the 1987 Constitution does not distinguish, okay? It does not distinguish kasi nga po, yung 1987 Constitution, ng granting for the sake of argument na sabi ng isang kaibigan ko na it does not distinguish daw of a foreign judge. Sa tingin ko lang, with utmost due respect, kung may Chinese warrant of arrest against him, diretso i-implement ka agad dito kasi it is determined by a Chinese judge. Di ba hindi po pwede? Kailangan talaga dadaan yan dito sa ating procedural mechanism, sa ating constitution. Since our 1987 constitution, in accordance with Ho versus People, yung determination of probable cause for issuance of warrant of arrest is non-delegable. Non-delegable, only a Philippine judge can issue it. And Salazar versus Achacoso likewise reiterates that, or likewise states that rather. So, kailangan sumunod sa ating local proseso. Yun po ang nasa isip ni Senator Bato de la Rosa. Kaya hindi siya tumatakas. He is asserting his constitutional rights.
Thank you, Attorney Torion. How about you, Attorney Topacio? Tatakot ba si Senator Bato?
By the way, with respect to that, nais kong katigan, hindi dahil sila ay mga kapartido ko at pareho kaming magagandang lalaki. Ngunit dahil tama sila na yung term ng bugante na paulit-ulit na sinasabing parang mantra, that is pure and unadulterated bullshit. Dahil wala pong valid warrant against Senator De La Rosa. Ginagamit lamang po yung propaganda ng mga kalaban ni Senator De La Rosa, lalo na yung mga makakaliwa, na halos naubos na ang hanay nila noong Chief PNP, si Senator De La Rosa. May wanted poster pang nalalaman. Kung ako si Senator De La Rosa, pagdidimanda ko yun Pero, well, that's just me, Hindi po tama yun. And any lawyer, I will say this, who echoes that sentiment is a stupid lawyer. Sinasabi ko sa inyo. Noong kami sa BACC, naglagay kami ng wanted posters laban kay Senator Lacson, ay wanted po talaga siya sapagkat may warrant siya. We even put up a reward for his capture. Kaya for Senator Lacson to say now na, Senator Bato, ikaw ay sumuko, unang-una, bakit siya susuko? Wala naman siyang warrant. Pangalawa, isipin nga hindi sumuko Nagtatago siya and he availed of certain remedies. Swerte nga si Senator Lacson na wala pa yung principle that the fugitive cannot avail of legal remedies. And with respect to Senator De La Rosa, that doctrine does not apply because he is by no stretch of the imagination a fugitive from justice. Wala po siyang warrant. Hindi siya pugante. Ha? At pakita nyo sa akin kung sino nagsasabing pugante siya, kukutusan ko. Thank you.
Maidagdag ko lang po
Yes,
kung
Attorney
maaari. Nasabi ko na kanina na yung 87 Constitution ay reaction sa martial law. Maalala po nitong mga mas nakakatanda sa akin na nung panahon po na yon, meron pong mga tinatawag na ASO. Naalala niyo siguro yung ASSO, Arrest, Search and Seizure Order.
Marami pa rin aso ngayon.
Marami pa rin.
Sa ombudsman.
Kaya po nagkaroon sa Bill of Rights ng napakalinaw na direktiba na ang arrest warrant ay dadaan muna sa determinasyon ng probable cause personally determined by a judge para po i-centralize na po sa judge ang pag-determine kung dapat magka-warrant. At lahat po ng uri ng warrant at nagkukunwaring warrant o kahit anong restriction of liberty na ginagawa ng executive ay hindi valid. Idagdag ko, sabi nila pag si Bato daw sumubok umalis sa bansa, hindi nila paaalisin. On what ground? Wala ngang, sinabi na nga po sa mga Arroyo cases na ang whole departure order, judge din ang pwede mag-issue niyan, hindi po kung ano lang departamento ng executive, no? Kaya po, by no means is Bato a fugitive, okay? Dahil walang judge-issued warrant against him. Gusto niyo po ba tayong bumalik sa sitwasyon na pwedeng magkaroon ulit ng ASO? ASSO. Dapat po lahat tayo ngayon against na sa lahat ng uri ng ASO.
Okay, Attorney.
Inform ko lang kayo sa mga hindi nakakaalam, lumiham na po ang ating partido noong ika-18 ng Mayo. Itong buwan na ito, kay Secretary Frederick Vida, na sinasabi po namin na hindi dapat pigilin si Senator Bato sa kung siya ay aalis sa Pilipinas sapagkat walang basihan, at binabalaan po namin ang DOJ na kung gagawin nila ito, they will have to face the consequences. At sinabi ko po rito, just very briefly, sabi ko, ako po ay umaasang titimo sa inyong kaisipan.
Ano?
Sinabi ko, ako po ay umaasang titimo sa iyong kaisipan. Titimo, tatatak. Oo, Tagalog, titimo.
Salamat ha.
Oo. Ayan,
Sa
nilagay ko.
Bilisaya dapat
po.
mo lantik sa imong alimpatakan.
Yun, mismo. Kahit hindi ko naintindihan. Sabi ko, ako po yung umaasang titimo sa iyong kaisipan na hindi lamang sa batas ng tao, kundi
Inyo to, dahil kanina po para nakikita ko tumutunog po ang ating programa, no, nang tuwing nagsasalita po si Attorney Topacio, narinig ko, toot, toot, toot. Ito pinakamatindi, yung kaninang huli niyan sinabi, if I were you, save na po nyo kasi mawawala po yan sa, tatanggalin nila yan. Opo. Salamat natuto kami ng bagong word. Diretsahan pa rin po tayo, no? Tuloy-tuloy ang atin pong usapin. At kailangan mailatag natin to ng malinaw sa ating mga followers at mga nanonood, mga sumusuporta sa atin pong programa, ang Kapihan sa PDP. Sa tatlo natin pong mga panauhin ngayon, kung naniniwala po si Senator Bato na wala siyang ginawang mali, bakit tila may urgency na umiwas sa mga operatiba? Attorney Torion.
Well, actually, nasabi na namin, no? This is an assertion of his individual rights, human rights as a Filipino citizen. Kaya nga po, yung sabi doon sa isang broadcaster na, bakit siya magtatago? Hindi po siya nagtatago, nag-assert siya sa kanyang individual rights, human rights as a Filipino citizen. Kasi nga po, yung executive department through the NBI is hell-bent in arresting him even if there is no Philippine recognized warrant of arrest or Philippine issued warrant of arrest. So, kaya nga po, how would he be able to protect his rights kung magpadakip siya at dalhin siya doon sa Netherlands? Ang ibig ba nila sabihin, nandun siya sa Senado, tapos paglabas niya, magpadakip siya, tapos doon na lang kami mag-assert ng kanyang human rights kung nandun na siya sa Netherlands? Hindi po tama yun. Kasi nga po, person's liberty na yan and possibly life is involved. So therefore, when a person's liberty is already at stake, it is actually now yung doctrine of self-help. He has to protect himself. Kasi the first rule of human being is what? Self-preservation. Self-preservation yan. Kasi kung magpadakip siya, dadalhin siya doon sa Netherlands, pareho na kami. Ngayon, mahihirapan kami pag-assert dito sa Pilipinas kasi ibang bansa na yun eh. Wala naman tayong Hague Invasion Act. At saka maski yung Hague Invasion Act? Yan. Yung Hague Invasion Act, pareho yan sa Amerika. Yung Hague Invasion, kung merong tao na dadakpin, kung American ka or any American allies, no? Dadakpin ng ICC or any foreign court, no? Without respecting the US laws. Pwede mag-organisa yung presidente at invade yung para to extract him. Meron silang batas. Wala naman tayo. At saka kung meron din tayo, ano bang kakayahan natin ipagyera doon sa Netherlands? So, siguro mga wakwak yung padala natin doon, no? Maski mga wakwak siguro dalhin natin doon. Yung mga
Attorney, may sinasabi po si Attorney Topacio.
na tibag. Ay, padala si Matibag. Matitibag siya doon. Mahirap po yun. That's why self-preservation yun, while at the same time preserving his right also under Philippine laws in order that his rights would be protected via judicial remedies. And meron kami ngayon, yun ngang sa Korte Suprema na pending. And I hope and pray really on bended knees that the Supreme Court would grant our prayers. Kasi nga po, individual liberty. What if mangyari ito sa inyo in the future? Mangyari sa inyo, merong foreign warrant. Maghahanap kayo ng mga kagaya ni Attorney Israelito Torion, Attorney Jimmy Bundok, Attorney Topacio, para depensahan ng mga karapatan ninyo. Kasi delikado ito, foreign warrant. Idiretso mo lang implementa as if it is a Philippine court-issued warrant. Kalukuhan talaga hindi nyo nakikita. What if mama nyo, papa nyo, may isyuhan ng foreign warrant? Diretso lang i-implementa, payag kayo? Bakit? Kailan ba tayo naging tuta ng ICC? Kailan ba tayo naging tuta ng mga dayuhan? We precisely enshrined the Bill of Rights in the 1987 Constitution in order to stop, no? In order to at least, no, prevent government excesses. Between the leviathan of a government power and the individual, the Bill of Rights is our shield. Leviathan is that monster with maraming mga ulo. That is the governmental power, which is now trained against Senator De La Rosa. What is its shield? Bill of Rights. And that is why we as lawyers have to invoke our Bill of Rights because it is the only shield remaining to protect Senator Bato de la Rosa.
Sige. Attorney.
Alam mo, na-realize ko lang yung sinasabi mo, kailan tayo naging tuta ng ICC. Alam niyo, ang malungkot yan pag nangyari ito magkakatuta ang ICC rito kay Marcos. Parang nagkatuta ang ICC kay Pangulong Marcos. Yun lang ang malungkot dyan.
Maidagdag ko lang po,
Attorney Bondok,
very,
please.
very short kasi maganda, very clear na po yung sinabi ni Attorney Torion. Pero tandaan po natin sa Revised Penal Code, merong Article 124, which is arbitrary detention. Diba? Ang arbitrary detention ay ang mga law enforcers halimbawa without legal ground, mga aresto. Tama? Ibig po sabihin, the Revised Penal Code recognizes na nagkakamali din po ang mga law enforcer. Kaya nga may krimen ng arbitrary detention. Kaya po si Senator Bato ay umiiwas dito dahil a crime can be committed on him. So ibig sabihin, kapag tayo po ay umiwas, kahit pa public officer yan, umiwas tayo sa kanilang illegal act, hindi po pag-iwas sa batas yun. Pagtataguyod po ng batas yun. Ganun lang po.
Attorney, kanina po nabanggit ni Attorney Torion, ilang ulit po sinabi niya, wala pong hindi tayo tuta, Hindi tayo tuta at walang Pilipinong naging tuta. Sa totoo lang, talagang hindi po tayo tuta. Pero marami po ngayong aso. Sa totoo lang, nagtataka ako, ang daming kumakahol. Wala na, maraming buto Maraming buto. And buto, ayun ka na.
Bumalik po tayo sa para po magkaroon tayo ng para magkaroon po tayo ng historical perspective. Ongoing naman lagi yung tension between the executive and the judiciary. Ang executive dati pa gusto lagi na kamkamin po, hindi lang po itong administrasyon na to be fair. Lahat po ng executive gusto laging pabilisin ang kanilang proseso. Katulad po nung Salazar versus Achacoso na binabanggit ni Attorney Torion, na ang gusto naman